Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. So, some of you have actually reached out to me and asked me what do I think about this whole situation with Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 6, where recently in the news, allegedly they were, well, actually, it's not even allegedly, they have confirmed that they have been hacked. Rockstar has posted on a Twitter, on the Twitter X, Truth Social Media, whatever they call it nowadays, that they have been hacked, and that the team behind it that hacked them threatened a massive data leak if not paid ransom. All right, so let's read this article, and then after the article, I will give you my opinions and thoughts about this whole situation, about this whole thing, and what I think uh, is going on, what I think it will happen, etc., etc. So let's read through it first, and then that's how I work. First, I read the article, and then I give you my opinions about it. All right. More bad news for Rockstar Games. This time, established hacker group ShinyHunters. It's claiming to have breached the company's secured cloud servers and now claims to have their hands on large collection of data. The group wants a digital ransom to be paid by April 14th, or it will reportedly leak what it has. So April 14th, that would be tomorrow, right? Because I'm recording this on Monday morning, so it'll be tomorrow, Tuesday. Update April 11th, 2026, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Rockstar Games confirmed that a data breach has happened. A spokesperson sent over this statement to Kotaku. We can confirm that a limited amount of non-material company information was accessed in connection with a third-party data breach. This incident has no impact on our organization or our players. Reported cybersec guru and hack read on April 11th, the hacker group posted on its dark website dedicated to leaks that it had gained access to Rockstar Snowflake servers, a cloud hosting company and provider that works with many large companies. Here's the message the group shared on Saturday. Rockstar Games, your Snowflake, your Snowflake, such an interesting name for the cloud. Snowflake, your Snowflake instances were compromised thanks to anadot.com. Pay or leak. This is a final warning to reach out by 14th April 2026 before we leak, along with several annoying digital problems that'll come your way. Make the right decision. Don't be the next headline. The hackers didn't actually crack Snowflake's security. However, instead, it's reported that the group gained access to the data via Anadot, a cloud cost monitoring and analysis software service that Rockstar and other companies use to manage cloud data. It has recently been reported that Anadot has suffered security breach, possibly providing a path for ShinyHunters. That's the name of these hackers, ShinyHunters group, to gain access to secure Snowflake data. The method the group used allegedly would have looked legit to Rockstar, meaning the group likely has a lot of data on its hands now. ShinyHunters has publicly stated what data or files they have access to and could leak, though it's believed they don't have access to passwords or personal player data. Instead, this hack was focused on corporate information and assets, which could include contracts, financial documents, marketing plans, and other data that Rockstar Games will likely not want publicly shared online in a few days. The ShinyHunters have been around since 2020 and typically go after large companies. Past targets have included Microsoft, Ticketmaster, Cisco, AT&T, and Wattpad. They tried to ransom data or sell it if the group is claiming to have breached Rockstar and stolen data. They likely aren't bluffing. In 2022, Rockstar Games suffered an infamous hack that had led to a lot of early GTA 6 gameplay footage and assets being leaked online. This hack was pulled off by a teenager who was able to gain access to the company's Slack chat service. The UK teen was later sentenced to life in hospital prison. Well, that's where he belongs, and will only be released in the future if doctor decides he's no longer a danger to others. UK, man, United Kingdom, what's going on over there with all these hackers in UK? You know, what's going on? Is that maybe what's going on? The weather, it's so bad. Maybe the same thing in Russia. The weather, it's so bad, so these guys have nothing better to do than just to hack. All right, so let's talk about this. All right, so let's make something very abundantly very clear. All right, Rockstar is a huge corporation. If you think that Rockstar, who has invested close to $2 billion, I think it's now $2 billion on this game, if you think that they're not going to invest money with the FBI, Federal Bureau, Interpol, and other agencies around the world to track down these clowns, then you are mistaken. They will track down these clowns. And I think, but here's the problem. Like these guys, ShinyHunters, how come they're still operating, dude? They've been around since 2020. They hacked AT&T, Microsoft. These are big corporations. So what is FBI doing? Like, FBI, you need to do your job. FBI, this is not good. Like, you should be doing a better job than this. If these guys are still around, and you can't track them down, you can't track down their origin and where they originate from and where they're moving from to, in which different locations are they moving from to, and you're having a difficult time to track down these guys, I'm disappointed by Federal Bureau. Like, really, I mean, I thought that we have the best of the best. I was under the impression that the Federal Bureau, that our government, that we have the best of the best, that we have the most highly skilled counter cyber crime division in, intelligence to track down these clowns. But apparently we don't, because these guys they're still around, dude. They've been around since 2020, and that's the scary part about this. Okay, I don't care about the leaks. I will never look at those leaks. I will never care to see any of these leaks. So I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Well, it affects Rockstar, but it doesn't affect me. I will never look at those leaks, because I don't want to know anything about Grand Theft Auto 6. I just want to know when it's the release date so I can play it. But this is a much bigger problem than just Rockstar headline, than just Rockstar being hacked. This is an issue that we have with just being on the internet in general. Even me being hacked, and I'll just use my case. Let's just use my case, for example. I take so many precautions, like two-step verifications. Dude, I don't want to go into details, but dude, besides the two-step verifications, I have other security measures that I have paid my hard-earned cash to ensure security, to secure my channel. And even with everything else that I have done, with all the security measures and so many different things, again, I'm not going to go into details of what type of security measures I take, but believe me, I'm using like Area 51 type security measures, like top notch. And I'm sure as hell I'm not going to give you details of what those security measures are. But if this can happen to me, okay, and someone was able to hack into my channel and inject a 19-second video of whoever this individual was, recording a 19-second video through StreamYard using the N-word, right? A very racist word for 19 seconds and repeating it for 19 seconds. And then I reach out to Google, Silicon Valley. You would think, Silicon Valley, these are the big tech company, right? These are the best of the best, right? I reach out to the specialist, and the specialist tells me, well, you were not hacked. I'm like, come again? You were not hacked. Not only did they not acknowledge the fact that I was, like, they wouldn't even acknowledge the fact that I was hacked. They were saying basically that I uploaded the video, that it was my fault. And I already talked about this. I already made a video. I already put it out there. The reason I'm using me as one example, because if someone can do this to me easily, then none of us is safe. None of you, all of you guys are at the mercy of these clowns and these groups, whatever they call themselves, the ShinyHunters and many others. Believe me, there's many others. I'm sure there's many others in Russia, China, Balkans region, India, Jesus Christ, India. So I'm sure there's many groups. I'm sure there's some groups in Canada as well, groups in UK, okay? But here's what troubles me. The fact that these organizations are having a difficult time tracking these guys. That's what worries me. Like, Silicon Valley is a big company, big tech company. You got trillions of dollars, and you still can't figure out where these guys are operating, from where they're moving, how they're operating, and then FBI. Seriously, it's supposed to be the best of the best. Really, FBI? This is disappointing. Seriously, FBI, you need to look into this group. I'm sure they are, ShinyHunters, but seriously, these guys have been around since 2020. So that shows me that the Federal Bureau is not doing their job. If I was the president of the United States and I look at this, first thing I would do, I would call the FBI director. Say, what's going on, dude? How much money are we giving to the Federal Bureau? And you guys cannot track down these guys. You can't track down these clowns. And this also brings another question that I have. The safety of us being on the internet. We're naked, man. We're exposed. Now, I've taken as much of precaution as I can to protect myself from different attacks and different hackers, okay? I've taken as much precaution as I can humanly possibly can. Okay. But if they can hack into a Rockstar, if they can hack into a AT&T, if they can hack into Microsoft and all these other big corporations, dude, we are all at the mercy of these guys. And that's not good, man. It makes you wonder, do you really want to be on the internet? Do you really want to be on the YouTube? Because if like somebody simply doesn't like you for whatever reason, or whatever the reason might be, right? Some sick clown who has these highly advanced skills on how to hack, and they can bypass all of these different systems. We're at the mercy of these guys. And it's also very alarming to me that a Federal Bureau, FBI, since 2020, they still can't find these guys. After 5 years, they still cannot find these guys. That's not good, man. That's not good at all, dude. 5 years, they're getting more advanced, right? I can only imagine you haven't caught them in 5 years. I'm not saying that they were not looking for them. I'm not saying that they didn't try, but this is disappointing that the FBI, Federal Bureau, still having a difficult time to track down these guys, ShinyHunters, and to expose them, and many other groups out there, which I'm sure they're not the only ones, right? I'm sure that there's many others out there. So this is really, we're living in a very dangerous time. And then when you look at all these hackers, and then you have to look at the AI, artificial intelligence, which is yet another danger. Artificial intelligence can create your voice and make it look like you said something you didn't say. AI can create your image and make a video where you saying something but it's not you. And by the time you prove to everybody that it's not you, by the time you prove that it's not your face, that it's a fake AI, that it's not your voice, that it's a fake AI voice, by the time you do all of that, guess what? People will start believing the initial report. People will start believing the initial crap that was posted by the time you clear out your name. And this is the danger that we're living in terms of like social media and internet and YouTube and being a YouTuber, being a streamer. I've been a YouTuber, streamer, creating content now for 12 years, and I'm telling you, it's it's dangerous now. And that's one of the reasons why I made those videos, to expose like the danger of like being on the internet, man. Just being a YouTuber, being a streamer, because this is getting out of hand, man. This is a serious issue. The cybercrime division at the FBI need to do a far better job, man. What are we paying our taxes for, bro? They need to do a far better job. You have the best resources, man. FBI, Federal Bureau, has the best resources. Silicon Valley has the best resources. I don't understand how they're having a difficult time tracking down these guys. Anyway, so this is a very alarming situation, that they can easily hack a big corporations like Microsoft, AT&T, and a Rockstar, and it's really alarming to me. And then we're at the mercy of them. We're like at their mercy right now, and that's not good, man. Look, I do whatever I can to protect myself as much as I can, but these guys are sophisticated, man. These guys are very sophisticated, but I do the best I can to ensure my safety and protection. So what do I think is going to happen here? Well, look, Rockstar, it's a huge corporation. They have more money than God. I'm sure they will contact FBI. They will start the investigation with the Federal Bureau and other organizations across Europe and international cybercrime division. They'll be try to track down these guys. I'm sure they'll try to do the best they can to ensure security and safety. They'll try to take down any kind of leaks that's being posted by these guys. So I don't think they're going to give in to the ransom. I think they'll do everything they can to make sure that whatever's leaked is being taken down. And they will, ensure that the YouTube is very vigilant on taking down any videos that might be injected with the leaks of all the information that they have. So, look, this sucks. I just want to say this. It sucks because if they can do this to a Rockstar, if they can do this to a Microsoft and AT&T and these big corporations, then, man, we're in trouble. We are in trouble, dude. None of us is safe, bro. And I already said this. What happened to me can happen to you. What happened to Rockstar can happen to any big company out there. This is not good. This is a serious matter that the FBI really needs to invest more money into to ensure better safety. And these big companies, they need to ensure a better safety. So it's disappointing that this is where we are, honestly. And like I said, being on the internet is dangerous now, man. You're on your own, man. YouTube will not protect you like they haven't protected me. Twitch will not protect you. No one will protect you, dude. You just have to protect yourself. You have to stay vigilant, and you have to protect yourself. What I mean by vigilant, you have to be vigilant on how you protect your channel, how you protect your information, and you have to do everything you can in your power to ensure that you delete all the cookies, you delete everything, change your passwords as many times as possible. Okay, change your passwords every day. Make your passwords like ridiculously long where they will never figure that out. Try to do everything you can to ensure that they can't crack you down. You have to be vigilant, man, because if you're not, if you are relaxed, they will track you down and they will, take your information and sell it out there to these guys or other guys and so many other guys out there on the black market, on a deep dark internet webs, of the internet, the scummiest, the worst parts of the internet. So, but I don't think Rockstar will give in into the ransom. It's not going to happen. Trust me. And they shouldn't, because if they do, then they're sending the message that they can continue to do this kind of crap, right? So I'm sure they're gonna catch these guys sooner or later. Their luck will run out, man. They're gonna make a mistake somewhere. I'm not saying they're gonna catch them right now, but a few years from now, they're gonna catch these guys. They're gonna, like that one guy, the teenager in UK. Yes, you're hackers, but you're also humans, and as humans make mistakes, and you're gonna make a mistake one day. You're gonna make a mistake somewhere, and that's all they need is for you to make that one mistake, and they're gonna catch you. But in general, this kind of sucks for the rest of us, because if they can do this to a big corporations, imagine what they can do to us, man. Basically, we are at their mercy at this point. So anyway, that's all I have to say about this. That's my honest opinion about it. And it's a dangerous time we live in, man. That's why I have no comments. That's why I have no chat. I can't trust no one, dude. Even though I know I have a real human verified subscribers, but I still don't know their intent, whom they're connected with, where they go, whom they talk to, whom they're chatting about me. Are they, what their intent is? I still don't know. And that's the thing about the internet. You don't know the people's intent. Do they really like you, or are they just pretending to like you? Or do they want to see you fail? Just because someone is subscribed to you doesn't mean that they have your best interest. Okay, because you don't know because we're on the internet. I don't want to sound paranoid, but we are on the internet, man. And internet is an access to 7 billion people who have access to internet, and not all of them have their best interest. Sure, there's some good people who truly like you, but again, you have to stay vigilant, man. You gotta understand, and I want my subscribers to understand. We're living in the dangerous times, Okay, if they can do this to a big corporation, imagine what they can do to you. So I'm just saying, stay vigilant, and we're living in the dangerous times. All right, well, that's it. I think I spoke enough. 24 minutes video. This is my opinions. This is my personal opinion about it, because some of you guys reached out to me and asked me, hey, could you please give your opinion about this whole situation that happened with Rockstar, okay? And then being hacked by this group called ShinyHunters. So there you have it. That's my opinion about this. And like I said, we live in some very dangerous times. You have to be vigilant out there. Be very careful, whom you talk to. People wear many different masks, okay? So especially on the internet, so you got to be careful. All right. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for watching my Samsung videos. It's getting a lot of views. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. And I will see you on the next video. Have a good Monday.